So the title of my paper is Responding to Skepticism, the Legacies of Austin, Clarke, and Cavell. The word responding is important here. My intuition for the paper was that these three philosophers are basically together in trying not to answer the skeptical challenge, to answer skepticism. They're rather responding in the sense that they are investigating whether the skeptical question can be meant. I think there are some important differences. And the main one has to do with the way they understand the relation between the ordinary and the philosophical. So I take it that in a sense, Cavell started his work trying to defend a brand of ordinary language philosophy that he inherited from Austin. But then he realized with Clarke that there was something about traditional epistemology that Austin was not getting. Cavell had to rethink ordinary language philosophy. And I think Clarke showed to Cavell, perhaps for the first time, that there is another possibility, that we can understand the skeptic better if we try to get inside his or her perspective. I think Cavell agrees with Clarke that Austin's response to skepticism is not sufficient, that there is something more to be said in favor of the skeptic or the traditional epistemologist. But he also agrees with Austin that there is something deeply right about the idea that whenever I say something, anything, I raise a question, I make a claim, there must be a specific point for me to make it. I think one important difference, Cavell accepts a vision of the ordinary as vulnerable and unstable. The kinds of questions that the skeptic raises will arise naturally because we do not have an impersonal external guarantee that the words we are using have the meaning we want them to have. What Cavell asks us is to try to make this vulnerability and this instability, to make them a home, to make them habitable, to accept them and accept our shared responsibility in achieving meaning, and therefore accepting the risks that this responsibility has intrinsic to it, and accepting, therefore, that skepticism is always a live possibility. What I'm doing in my paper is trying to understand the similarities and differences among the responses that these three philosophers offer to skepticism, emphasizing the difference in their understanding of the relationship between the ordinary and the philosophical.